What do styles, breakpoints, and hooks have in common? A huge headache. I didn't think this video would be that long. Welcome back to the Build in Public series. In the last video, we were working on container queries for our website builder. We couldn't make it work with just media queries without using iframes, so container queries just did the job. In this video, we will be cleaning up the code, creating a custom useStyles hook to streamline the styling process from the control panel. So this is a long and tiresome video, so grab yourself a cup of coffee, tune in, and let's get to it. And we will probably have to remove the variants because we have quite a lot of them. And so we go to the template engine. We see this variants folder. And yeah, we have quite a lot of variants actually. And those variants are visible here. This is a variant. It's not responsive, and we need to make this responsive. But we also need to make this work with custom values. So I cannot really make this responsive thing work with variants, because it will give you a variant instead of going for responsiveness. Let's say it doesn't matter if I pick a font size of 16 at the breakpoint LG. Then I want to select 12 pixel font size at SM. It doesn't matter, it will not work. So I need to fix this. I need to remove the variants or repurpose them. I think so. Yeah, I believe we could just repurpose the variants into something more manageable. But yeah, but first we need to go to the canvas controls, breakpoints. Now we have breakpoints, and then we need to go into this. Right. What we need to do is extract all of the logic into its own hook, essentially. So we could go and reuse it in other control components, because for example at the flex columns control, we have this apply variant thing, and it doesn't work for me. I need to extract all the logic and see how we can do this in a rather responsive way. So first, let's go ahead and create a new hook. I don't even know how to call it. Let's call it use styles. Go ahead and call it use styles. Okay, let's go back to height and width. Okay, we need to see what we can do. Use builder provider state. And we can just take in the state, give it a const. Let's take in the styles. Let's take in set styles. Then we will need breakpoints. I like to keep my functions at the end. Yeah, we have styles, we have this and that. And that styles, so we can create a new function Alt const set new style. Yeah, the naming is awkward. Hmm. It's a bit awkward. But breakpoint key. I think we could create an entry or something, or call it like an entry. That's not bad. We need to select the component path. We know what to target actually. Okay. Let's split this and rewrite all of it. Okay. And the use styles. So create a new set styles. Something like an internal thing. Let's create a new function called const set styles. What will you do? Okay, you'll create a new let's copy. We'll create a new object so we don't manipulate the state directly. Then, okay, let's stick to this function now. Then we will create an entry point. So we add breakpoints. If we have breakpoint, then entry point will be breakpoints map breakpoint. If not, it's going to be a selected component path. Right. Okay. Then we need a style sheet. The styles. Get a selected component. We need a style element to set it. Or we don't. We'll get back to that later. Okay. Okay. This is essentially the same thing, but we do have breakpoints key. Okay. Now for the styles copy, or no. Okay, let's go with breakpoints. But okay, so let's see if we have breakpoint. And if we don't, do something else. Okay, I'm thinking. Okay, if we have a breakpoint, then the entry point is going to be a breakpoint. We don't have a breakpoint. Entry point is going to be a selected component. Right. So or we don't actually need to have the entry point. Let's see. If we go ahead and copy equal to I this my object assign. Okay, this thing. Go and assign it instead of doing whatever. String is not assignable to parameter of type object. Right, record string string could be nested actually. So well, you know, it could be either a string or a record strings. JSS JSS here. Have something for TypeScript React. Okay, let's see. No, it's not the case. Sandbox features. Okay. API. What do you have with core type? Next types. No. React. No, usage with TypeScript. Oh, no. Okay, we have button props. React elements, use styles. What are classes? Rule names. Hmm. Okay. We need to create a type of styles object. The key is going to be a string. Another key is going to be a string and string. That makes sense. Hmm. Could be a key of string or not. I mean, okay. It's going to be a record. Take in a string. Give back a string. Or it's going to be a record. Takes in a string. And returns a what? A new record, which is a string and string. We're not going any deeper than that. Implicit type of any. Files object. We can export this files object. And files object is equal. Okay, we're back, and it's me with glasses on. Yeah, last time we left off was we were creating a useStyles hook. We got kind of stuck on it due to the fact that TypeScript was not inferring obvious keys and types for some reason. So we spent quite a lot of time dealing with TypeScript. I just needed to take a break, but we managed to make it work. We also encountered a pretty interesting bug on the builder, so we had to change that as well. Right, so what did we do? I think you remember the last time we were working on margin and padding, and it kind of looked like this. And I have no screen to show you right now, so bear with me. There we go. Right. We were working with, what was it? Margin and padding. So this thing. Okay, let's shut me off. We were working with these values. So margin, padding, which is not yet implemented. And we went from all this mumbo jumbo to something that looks like this. Handle on change. We set the value of the thing, which is a margin at this point. But I think I will be using an object instead of a primitive string to encapsulate all of this. That would be both margin, padding, and a single object, as well as unit. So I want to actually have unit selection for all of those instead of just relying on a single one. Because yeah, you could select a pixel unit, type in whatever, then select, let's say, rem or margin bottom, type in whatever. I keep changing from a single point, but I think it may get messy. But I'll have to deal with that later. So yeah, we went from this huge mumbo jumbo to a simple set value, apply styles, and then we rendered the template again. So what happened here? We created the useStyles hook. We're passing it. Okay, so let's start from the beginning. We created a useStyles hook. It is a hook that, because we need to access the builder provider state to pull in the styles JSON to pull in the style sheet, the breakpoints, which component is the currently selected one, the style element, which is in the head of the browser, and of course the set styles function. Then we created this apply styles function. We create a styles copy so we don't directly manipulate the styles. Then we check if we have a breakpoint selected. If we do, we need to create an entry point for that breakpoint. So something like this. This will be the entry point for a selected breakpoint. And then we basically just spread what's in that entry and apply new style property with new value and the selected unit. And then we basically replace the CSS rule on the style sheets and do the same thing if the breakpoint does not exist, but the entry then is just a selected component path, which is it looks like this. Let's see. Oh, it's in rems. Okay, sorry. Right. So a selected component path is basically an ID of the component. Right. And we just replace the rule. We set the new styles. Then we get the selected component. We then find the property of the class name. If it has a class name, we take the class from the style sheet and apply it to the component. And then we take the style sheets, stringify it, and push it to the style element in the head. So we have, so we get responsive styles, essentially. As you can see, it is working. Yeah, we managed to make it work as usual. So what was the bug that prevented me from really doing anything with specificity? So whenever I would declare a new style for, let's say, this section without being under a specific breakpoint, it would take precedence over whatever breakpoint I would declare. So let's say I would declare this section to be of margin 147, let's say, without a breakpoint. I would select LG, set a new breakpoint, and it would always be 147 because it's set outside of the boundaries of the container. What I did was a pretty silly thing. So I went ahead and created this breakpoint XS, 10 pixels. So, and I made it a default breakpoint. So, there we go. This is a default breakpoint of 10 pixels. So, when you reset the canvas size, you are working with basically the 10 pixel with the default breakpoint of 10 pixels, which in my opinion is way better than having to rely on anything else. So I messed something up, so let's do it again. Okay, so we have no breakpoint selected, and I will be applying a margin on it. There we go. Let's say 30 pixels. Yeah. Shows me 30 pixels. And of course, it is 30 pixels. Now I can go in to LG. And anything before LG will have 30 pixels. See? If we reset it, it's going to take the latest, the greatest breakpoint, which is LG, and apply those styles. So if we go MD, get 30 pixels. We go LG, get 0. If you could see that, right? This is the container. This is the margin that is being applied now. But of course, it also depends on the window, browser window, a bit, which may become an issue, but we'll see. So there we go. You can see the min width of 10 pixels, and you can see the min width of 11024. I mean, it works. We'll see once this goes out into, not say production, but into testing, if we need to do any changes to it. Maybe I will just need to swap the container with media, and we should be good to go. And for the min width of 10 pixels, maybe we will just need to lift it up one level, and that's about it. But yeah, we made it work. We made this thing work, actually. Yeah. I'm kind of proud of myself. So let's go into height and width controls and show you what it looks like when we just apply this new useStyles hook that we just created. So apply styles. We no longer need to check this if the component is set. We no longer need to do all of this. No, we no longer need to do that. And we just call apply styles with style prop. Okay, well, let's change it to style prop value. So the naming is consistent. That's it. Organize the imports. We no longer need all of these. We just need the schema and the render template function. And then we just need an apply styles function. It is basic composition, essentially. And useStyles. What is happening? That is interesting. Just a moment ago, it was all fine and dandy. Oh. I think I broke something there, but just this moment. Right. And as you can see, the code is much cleaner. I mean, we could still fix the issue with having too many use states by just moving everything into an object. But yeah, I guess that's about it. So let's check height and width. Okay, we need to refresh, maybe something not updating, but about 500. It is working. LG give you a width of 250. MD by 100. LG 250. It is working. Right, we can duplicate this. We can give you a width of 100%. On the lowest breakpoint. We can pull in this section, or we cannot. Yeah, we probably can't. We can do it. I think it broke something. Maybe. It's like I broke something. Yeah, we're not reading any components. Do it again. Section. Go to container. Now let's duplicate this and okay. Go ahead with 25 pixels. Margin of 20 pixels at the top. Let's add an image for, I don't know, shits and giggles. Let's add a title. Add a subtitle. Let's just center everything. And write something. I love sheets too much to do anything worthwhile. Right. We could have a width, let's see, a margin of 50. Just push it down. Let's see. Give this title a font size of 96, the other one 26. There we go. Pretty good. And we can move this image below this container. It's gone. Yeah, then there needs to be some updating rules written for this canvas, but other than that, it looks like we kind of made it. We didn't go as far as fixing the variants, all that, but we did manage to create a pretty robust, I think it is robust, styling system that I will just need now to go ahead and create controls for. Need to work on the gaps and on the flex, on the font size to make it as dynamic as possible. Oh, and a good thing is that I could probably, let's see, I wanted to test something out. So we have a width and we have a type of number. We can just comment this out and default unit is a pixel. Right. I think we can comment this out, select a null unit and write custom CSS functions. So it's going to be like calc, let's say 50% minus 24 pixels. Right. Does not work. Do we need to have pixel? No. No. 50% minus 20%. 24 pixel? That is actually interesting. Can I make this work, actually? Oh, yes, we can. Okay. Let's say let's minus it by 100, by 150. There we go. Working. Yeah. We can make custom and custom functions like calc. We could use clamp. And yeah, this is the power of CSS, essentially. In a small form factor. Right, so thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. This was a headache, but we did manage to solve it. So next up, I'll be essentially working on fixing the variant problem. So we have responsive styles without having to rely on variants. And it will actually reduce the amount of code we need to write when working with components. So let's see, we have a section and we have all of these variants. We have the horizontal align, vertical align, text align, layout, blah, 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 blah. And if you want to create new components, I mean, you could just copy and paste the components directory into a new folder and just keep them. But I would better leave only Tailwind classes and custom CSS that we can write here using those simple inputs and have them responsive, because class variance authority, the CVA that we're using, are responsive unless we specify that they have to be responsive. Otherwise, no bueno. Yeah. And all of this will actually go into the controls themselves. So they will be coupled and live under one, let's say, component or one function that is responsible just for that thing. So it's way better to actually debug without having to rely on external style sheets like these. Yeah. I'll probably have the same approach basically, but this will be under something. Yeah. So anyway, I need to take a break. This one gave me a bit of a headache, but it was pretty fun. It was pretty eye-opening. uh, TypeScript doesn't always infer types, even if they are a string or a number in a record in an object, and it just says, it's an any. Right. That's pretty fun. So, thank you for watching, and see you next time.